here. And hold on to your seats because there's a whole group of people that have told me they're going to be late. So we've got people coming and going all day long. But I want to thank you for being here today. A number of years ago, a young man stood on the banks of a beautiful river, much like where we find ourselves today. His vision was to build a home on that river someday. Years later, he was building that home and saw a baby in a basket floating down the river. He dove in, rescued the baby, and felt very good about himself and what he had done. Some months later, he sees another baby floating down the river. Jumps in, saves the baby. A week later, another baby is floating down the river. Why the story? The story speaks to the issue of taking action after the fact and saving the baby instead of addressing eventualities we know will occur. And that's the point of why we're here today. I want to thank Marist College, its president, for allowing us to be in this place and take advantage of some of the facilities he has seen put together. To Elmore Alexander, the dean of the business program here, and the brain trust for the organization, the conference today, Robin Will and Renee Stagnaro, who provided the structure and hard work to build the conference that we're at today. Thank you to the speakers today that make this conference a powerful learning experience with some of the best thinkers in the energy marketplace of today. So thank you for bringing your thoughts forward and sharing them with us today. Thank you to all of the participants here today. You were all invited because of your leadership that you provide in a variety of capacities, whether as concerned citizens, government officials, non-for-profit executives, energy industry experts, or business professionals. Please, please, please participate. The Hancock Center, Marist College, the conference in general is made for participation. The participation will be our performance standard against which we will all be graded. The objective for the conference is that you all leave with a few more energy-related tools. A brief commercial. The Hudson Renewable Energy Institute was founded in 2003 to open a dialogue on renewable energy and competition. The Institute is a not-for-profit 501c3 member educational organization. We are always looking for new members. So, as an incentive, today there's a twofer. If you apply and register today, you'll get 2 years for the registration fee of 1. I would also like to recognize the members of the board of directors of the Hudson Renewable Energy Institute who are with us today. You've already met Elmore Alexander. Another member and one of the founding members of the Institute is Lou Lewis. And we've just had a new board member join us who was the keynote speaker last year, Dave Pacina. Dave. So what are some of the areas of focus to make the use and development of renewable energy more competitive in the marketplace? Certainly the energy marketplace is changing. Using Central Hudson as representative of change, in December of 2009, electric and natural gas service charges, or actually supply charges, were 7.2 cents per kilowatt hour for electric and $7.40 per decatherm for natural gas. In December, just a few months ago, December of 2012, these same supply charges were 5.7 cents for electric and $4.67 for gas. That is a 26% decrease for electric supply and a 58% decrease for natural gas supply. The discussion and speakers in the morning sessions are intended to provide a backdrop for this changing energy marketplace. Certainly such pricing places pressure on renewable energy technologies in the marketplace that holds energy technologies less than 30 years old as newcomers with extensive levels of investment risk. So what are the investment risks for use and development of renewable energy? What risks make renewable energy a risky alternative in a competitive marketplace? The risks may be defined in the following buckets. Cost. Renewable energy remains more expensive on a per unit or per kilowatt hour basis generated. The cost curves are coming down but are still high versus well-established production technologies. To some degree, however, these costs are of our own making, putting our energy supply into commodity markets which ignore energy production value that society holds as dear. Put another way, it is hard for an individually crafted product to compete with a mass-produced product. Technology. The renewable systems, by and large, continue to emerge with growing reliability, but not the reliability inherent with existing fossil fuel-driven turbine technologies. Life expectancies are not equal to those in turbine technologies that have been around for years, and failure mechanisms continue to be discovered as life expectancy curves continue to develop. Many of the renewable technologies, such as solar cells, produce energy only when the sun shines, and termed intermittent, interfering with our expectations of 100% availability. Permitting. Project permitting now takes years, and in some instances decades, with negative project development revenues creating a cliff which frequently leads to extinction. Each permit application is an opportunity to say no. Each acquired permit is a testimony to extensive study and cost. Only the well-funded, incredibly persistent survive. Regulation. Regulation is good, but the process to understand the regulations and comply with the regulations is costly. The regulatory process is open, but time-consuming. Power industry inertia. The power industry is large, reliable, and moves slowly. Intentionally, such inertia allows for no surprises from newcomers. Three-party agreements between system operators, connecting utilities, and developers allow only the best and most reliable of technologies to deliver an energy product to the marketplace. These interconnection agreements, even for small projects, are extensively studied and have numerous fingers in the pie. Interconnection agreements have many unanticipated parties charging the developer. Capitalization. Money is a liquid asset which generally seeks the best returns. The power industry over the course of the last few years has become more risky from an investment standpoint. Witness two multi-million-dollar 500-megawatt power plants on the Hudson River, Dancehammer and Lubbock, within miles of us shutting down. The market. The marketplace for electric energy has been set during an era prior to processing data transfers and storage in the megabyte arena. Such processing capability allows for tracking of billions of energy units at minuscule cost. The market design for how we buy and sell renewable energy is still locked into the horse and buggy era. Even though in today's competitive bulk marketplace, a kilowatt hour generated can be tracked from the source to the load, the market still is operated as a commodity market. We refuse to allow a customer to access direct retail choice at the source of generation as opposed to wholesale aggregated choice. In other words, a customer cannot directly buy a kilowatt hour from a specific developer, generated at a specific location at a specific time, even though we have the technology and marketplace to do so. All these risks provide opportunities for making the market for electric energy more competitive and deserve attention. However, market redesign, in the opinion of the Hudson Renewable Energy Institute, holds the most potential for promoting the use and development of renewable energy in the marketplace. Let's take a quick few minutes and discuss a competitive electric supply marketplace. Let's start with a few assumptions. The market needs robust and unfettered highways, and let's call them transmission and distribution systems. These highways will accept any type of vehicle, think of a kilowatt hour, each needing a unique identifying license plate. Vehicles will have a timestamp indicating that they will be used and to whom they will be delivered using the T&D highway. This timestamp may indicate use 20 years into the future. Prior to delivery time, the vehicles may be sold, purchased, resold by interested parties possessing vehicle ownership. Like all vehicles, the price for a specific vehicle will be unique to that vehicle and indicate its value to the owner. Every vehicle on the highway is unique, carrying its own identifying origins, beneficial attributes, and ownership. Assuming for analogy's sake our vehicle is made of valuable consumable product, at the end of the trip on the highway, the vehicle is used by the owner for more productive purposes, thus retiring the vehicle. With these assumptions, a competitive market may be built allowing consumers to purchase the types of electric energy products they desire. The products may be differentiated by attributes of source, production, and environmental benefit. So now the customer who wants his energy to come from the sun may purchase from a solar generator and gain satisfaction from the use of a generation fuel that is renewable and creates no air emissions or waste. Product pricing may differ for different products using the same highway or T&D system. Currently, with retail access programs in many places of the country, including New York, megawatt hours are being tracked from where they are produced to where the megawatt hours are being consumed. The accounting systems allow for customer billing based upon who supplied what energy to whom. Allow the market to truly open up. Allow a customer, if they so desire, to own an interest in a wind farm on Maple Ridge in the state of New York. Allow Lou Lewis, who is with us today, to be able to manage that ownership with value fluctuating in the marketplace over the life of the investment. Allow the market to supply an undifferentiated product at wholesale and a differentiated product which can be distinguished from other products at retail. Now, what would be the benefit of such a marketplace? The market would allow developers of renewable energy projects to sell forward 20 to 30 years. The market would allow consumers to buy contract ownership of a product which they knew came from a certain project and had attributes that the customer was interested in. No different from buying a ticket on JetBlue from JFK to Phoenix with a unit energy product designated as ASTQ1. Lou Lewis might be very comfortable buying into a product which initially was more expensive than a natural gas-fired combined cycle plant product, but which, in the long term, say over 25 years, held the potential to be less costly than fossil fuel generation. The creation of such a market holds potential for a vast array of new technologies like those associated with the smart grid. This would not only benefit the consumer, but also would be a boon to software developers interested in helping to build this marketplace. Such an approach would make the smart grid truly smart by allowing customers to not only manage their use of energy, but also have the capability of managing the supply. Such a market would allow an entrepreneur to develop a project at retail with capitalization possibilities that rely through aggregation on a huge customer base and not exclusively dependent upon large wholesale power purchase agreements. The developer would thus enter the marketplace for retail customers and not exclusively for customers whose only interest is price. Next steps. The Hudson Renewable Energy Institute has been discussing these options with the New York Independent System Operator, the Public Service Commission, NYSERDA, and many interested parties for years. Currently, there are mechanisms in place to start the process of establishing such a marketplace, at least on a pilot basis, and the Hudson Renewable Energy. Your participation in the process as leaders who have the capability to make a difference will be encouraged as we do move forward. Individual presenters will explain the marketplace of today with forecasts of the future. Such descriptions and prognostications lay the foundation for market modifications that must be taken into consideration if we are going to make the market for renewable energy more competitive and attractive. In taking some liberty in paraphrasing what New York's governor has stated on this very campus, this is the Empire State, past, present, and future. In driving forward such market change, we have the opportunity to add to the state's stature of economic greatness. Thank you all for being here today, and again, participate, 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 and there are a tremendous number of interesting people here that you ought to get to meet, know, and associate with. Elmore, thanks.